welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I am here with CX Polish's Snowbound collection plus 2 toppers. CX Polish, if you don't know, is a brand started by Kyle from Color Expressions here on YouTube. You probably have seen his beautiful swatch and reviews before, but he released this collection about a month ago and I am so excited to share these with you today. As usual, I will save more of my thoughts at the end after comparisons. For now, let's get into the swatches. The first polish in the collection is Blizzard, and this is a creamy white infused with silver sparkles and holographic glitters. This shade is like freshly fallen snow under the moonlight, and I absolutely love this description so much. Even though it's described as a creamy white, as far as the formula goes, I would describe this more on the crelly side. It is a little bit sheer, as you can see here on the first coat, but I'm not too upset by that because it really allows all of those silver sparkles and holographic glitters to shine through. And I would say it was pretty even coverage. The formula is definitely very smooth and easy to apply and very easy to work with. So it did build up nicely on 2 coats, but there still is a decent amount of nail line that you can see through and even just some lighter spots here and there. I can see maybe some people being okay with this on 2 coats, but I decided to do a third just to see if I can even it out. And it definitely looked a lot fuller coverage at this point. There is still a little bit of squishiness because again, this is a white crelly, but I didn't have any more patchiness or light spots. So overall, I loved how this looked, especially on 3 coats. It looks just like sparkly, fresh snow. The next shade we have is Spiked Cranberry, and this is a rich red jelly base infused with holographic glitters that's as intoxicating as a winter cocktail. So if you know me, you know I love these cranberry type of shades this time of year, and especially in this jelly holographic glitter type of formula. It is just so perfect for what I am craving this season, and I really loved the formula of this one. It just has such a dreamy, easy to work with jelly formula that's still very pigmented, so I only needed 2 coats to get this fully opaque for me. There are a ton of glitters too, so you get a lot of sparkle and depth and dimension, but it didn't feel goopy or anything. I am just so obsessed with this shade in particular. It's easily my favorite from the collection. It's just so gorgeous. Next up we have Golden Pines, and this is a deep green laced with gold shimmer and holographic glitter, capturing the essence of evergreens dusted with snow. So personally, I don't really see the vision of that because when I think of an evergreen kind of shade, I think of a shade much darker than this one. This feels more like a medium green to me, and the gold shimmer doesn't really make me think of snow, but that being said, I still really love this shade. I think the green is still absolutely perfect for the season, and obviously I also really love the gold shimmer in this one, so this still felt very festive, and the formula on this one was super buttery smooth and it was fully opaque in just 2 coats. The next glitter we have is Subzero, and this is a mesmerizing blue as deep as the midnight sky, fully packed with holographic glitters. So even though this is a pretty deeper blue, it's still very bright, where it's not so dark that it kind of borders on being like a black or purple or anything. I almost want to say it's like a dark cobalt maybe. You'll see what I mean when I do some comparisons to this blue a little bit later on, but yeah, this one had another super juicy pigmented base that was so easy to apply and work with, just so buttery smooth despite being absolutely packed with glitters. So again, I only needed 2 coats for this one and it just looked so mesmerizing. I could not stop staring at this color. Up next we have Kindling, and this is a warm brown hue reminiscent of aged wood that sparkles with golden shimmers and holographic glitters. So maybe I just didn't grab enough polish on the brush, but my first coat of this shade was a lot sheerer than I was expecting it to be. I kind of figured it would apply more like Golden Pines, where it was very full coverage, but as you can see, it was like a little patchy and streaky for me. But I'm gonna chalk that up to user error because this easily built up to full opacity on the second coat, so you don't need to worry about the formula. It is just as smooth and buttery as the others, and I love this warm brown brown. It is so beautiful, just so cozy for the winter. And rounding out the collection, we have Power Outage, and this is a daring black illuminated by holographic glitters. This shade is a nod to the dramatic, quiet moments of a winter blackout. And no surprise, the formula on this one was another dream, just like the other two glitters in the collection. Even though it has a jelly base, it is very pigmented, so you get a lot of coverage on the first coat alone, but it doesn't cover up any of the glitters at all. It is just so impressive. I have really become a fan of this glitter formula from CX Polish, and this shade is just so dark, so dramatic, but still stunning. I would absolutely love this for New Year's. Next, for the toppers, the first one I have is Icyyy, and I thought this was pretty much your standard scattered silver holographic topper, which it pretty much is, but in addition to these super tiny silver micro glitters, there are also these little micro flakes, so they are a little bit bigger and more like irregular shaped, and there's also silver reflective glitter in here, which I just did not realize, so I'm sorry I don't have a clip of this under flash, but either way, it is still super sparkly, just like your other kind of silver holographic toppers. It is just such a perfect dainty touch to add over any color. And I really love the addition of the tiny shredded flakies as well. It's just so pretty. And the other topper that I have is Fallen Stars, and this is basically the gold version of Icyyy. So it has this gold micro glitter, these super tiny shredded golden flakies, and gold reflective glitter, which again, I'm so sorry I did not realize sooner. But to be fair, I feel like it would be kind of hard to tell that it's reflective under flash because it's already so sparkly with all of the holographic glitter going on. So yeah, even if you aren't a fan of reflective glitter, I think both of these toppers are still perfect additions if you don't have anything like them already. I do love both of them because of how dainty they are, but I would say Fallen Stars is my favorite because I definitely do not have another topper like this one in my collection. So for the Skittle portion, I decided to wear the same finishes together. So these three are the shimmery type of polishes. So I have Golden Pines on my pinky and Index, Kindling on my ring finger, and Blizzard on my middle finger, 2 coats of each. As you can see, Blizzard is still a little bit sheer here on 2 coats, even on my right hand with shorter nails. So you probably would want 3 for fuller coverage. And then here are the 3 glitters in the collection. So I have Spiked Cranberry on my pinky and Index, Power Outage on my ring finger, and Subzero on my middle finger. Again, 2 coats of each in the sun and the shade. So you can see just how dark Subzero looks in the shade especially, but it's still very noticeably blue. I really love this color. It almost looks like a sapphire. It is beautiful. But I'm a big fan of all of these glitters. They are just so sparkly, so pretty. And here is the lineup of the Snowbound collection and the 2 toppers. I am such a fan of this release. I think it is just so beautiful, absolutely perfect for the holiday season, but also just like winter in general. And I love the combination of the 2 finishes between the glitters and the shimmers. Now getting into comparisons, I knew I had to see the glitters, especially next to the recently retired Holo Taco glitters. So we're starting with Spiked Cranberry and Holo Taco's Plum Luck. I'm sure a lot of you were hoping that this new shade would be a good enough dupe for Plum Luck, but unfortunately, I wouldn't say that it is. It's comparable as far as like a glitter polish goes, but it's the color that really doesn't come close. Spiked Cranberry is obviously more of a cranberry red that I would say even leans a little bit pink maybe, and Plum Luck is a deeper purple with magenta glitters, so not dupes. And just for a color reference, I also wanted to show it next to Mooncat's Gravity Hold Me Back from the Toxic Stardust collection. That one is more of like a true hot pink type of glitter mix that maybe leans like a little purple, so you can see just how much of a berry red Spiked Cranberry actually is. Then for Golden Pines, even though that one's a shimmer, I still wanted to show it next to Holo Taco's Everything is Pine, which is their green micro glitter that was recently retired. So aside from the formula difference, the shades are kind of similar, but Holo Taco is a little bit lighter. So I thought a closer comparison would be ILNP's Frankie from the Fright Night Halloween collection this year. This is like another similar green with a golden shimmer. Frankie is magnetic, but just in case you have that one already and you don't use a magnetic effect effect with it. It does kind of look similar to Golden Pines, but they're not exact dupes. So here are all three in 2 coats on the nails. You can see there's again a very obvious difference with Everything is Pine having actual glitters, and ILNP's Frankie again is kind of similar, but it has more of a golden glow and no holographic sparkle. Then for Subzero, I wanted to show this next to Holo Taco's Midnight Owl from the pretty recent After Party collection. Midnight Owl is definitely a lot darker and a little bit more indigo leaning, so it's not like a true navy blue sort of glitter, but close enough. And I also wanted to show this next to Mooncat's Kiss My Asteroid, which I shared recently in my favorite glitters video. This one was unfortunately retired, and I kind of described it as an almost like denim blue glitter, so it might be kind of hard to tell on camera, but there is a difference between the shades of blues. So here on the nail, I again have 2 coats of each. Subzero is definitely closer to Kiss My Asteroid than it is to Midnight Owl, because again, that one's just a lot darker and more indigo leaning. I guess Mooncat maybe does have a touch of purple to it, so Subzero is definitely the most vibrant or true blue. And it's even a lot more noticeable in real life than it is on camera. Then for Kindling, even though it's a wildly different formula, I still wanted to show it next to Holo Taco's Choco-Holo, which was their chocolate brown holographic glitter, but there's also a lot of gold in it as well, but overall there is just a general yellow lean to this brown. But a closer comparison, I think, is Zoya's Tasha, which is more of a metallic kind of shimmery finish. So that one ended up being pretty close, it's just missing that holographic sparkle as well. So here's 2 coats of each on the nail, and again, even though Choco-Holo does have a lot of gold glitters in it, I would say that the base leans pretty yellow too. It's just not as warm as these other 2 browns. I would say maybe Tasha is a little bit warmer than Kindling, but the main difference is that it doesn't have the holo sparkle. And then for Power Outage, of course, we have to look at it next to Holo Taco's Black Holo Wish, which was the black micro glitter that was recently retired, unfortunately. I would say these 2 are the most similar out of the other glitter comparisons, but they're not exact dupes. And I also wanted to show Power Outage next to Mooncat's The Dark Side, which is their black holographic glitter, but that one has more of a subtle holographic sparkle compared to the other 2. I think there's just more silver metallic glitters in Mooncat. So here on the nail, 2 coats of each. I think you can see the differences pretty well, where again, it's a little bit more metallic-y looking on Mooncat's side. So between Black Holo Wish and Power Outage, again, they are closer. I think there's more glitter in Holo Taco, and there's also more varied sizes of them, but Power Outage has more of a true black base where it's either just more opaque or just darker. And the last comparisons are for Icyyy. The first one I have is Mooncat's Moondust, which is their scattered holographic topper. This one is pretty much an identical dupe to China Glaze's Fairy Dust, if you're curious, where it's just a very scattered, fine, almost like a holographic shimmer, if anything. So I layered both of them over black because I feel like it's easier to see the differences. They're both dainty, but Mooncat's is a little bit more sparse and has more of a uniform micro glitter, whereas Icyyy has like those flakies. So I thought maybe I can also show it next to Holo Taco's Flakie Holo Taco, which I've mentioned before. My bottle is definitely an older one, so it also has these like little silver holographic bar glitters in there as well. So if your bottle doesn't have that, don't worry about it. But yeah, that's obviously going to be a big difference in my bottle compared to Icyyy, where there are no bar glitters. I would say the flakies are a little bit bigger in Holo Taco and overall more dense. So Icyyy is kind of like a nice mix between both Holo Taco and Mooncat. So that wraps up my swatches and comparisons for CX Polish's Snowbound collection and their 2 new toppers. As always, I would love to know what your thoughts are on this release, because if it isn't obvious already, I am a huge fan of this collection. It is just so sparkly, so beautiful color-wise, but also formula-wise. Like, I cannot get over how great I think the formulas are from CX Polish. I don't think I mentioned it in this video, but I did mention it in the first video that I also really love Kyle's rounded paddle brushes. They are just so perfect to hug around your cuticle. So yeah, I am a huge fan, and if you are interested in trying any of these shades, I will have their website linked down below. I would love to know which of these was your favorite shade, if you picked any of them up already, or which ones you're interested in. Again, my favorite is Spiked Cranberry. I just cannot get over this color. It is so pretty. I just think it is so juicy and so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I cannot get over this glitter formula. In case you missed it, I recently shared my favorite glitters video not too long ago, and it is a shame that these came in after I worked on that video. So just so you and I are aware and on the same page, these 3 glitters can definitely be a part of that video. Like, they are so yummy. But yeah, make sure to let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.